What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I am back to do the recap for The Shy Season 6, Episode 6, Boys to Men. This episode is the perfect title for our babies. Our babies have grown from boys to men. The guys of The Shy have now reached graduation. So I am so excited, and like I said, I had to go back. I know y'all probably like, Nita, this is so old, but because the episodes were such good episodes and it made me feel so good, I had to go back and recap it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. This is your spoiler warning, and let's go. First thing, we pick up where we left off, where Keisha is confronting Emmett about this bag of drugs. Not drugs, Lord. This bag of money that she's found in the coffee table. Now, what I want to say is that Emmett has been very, very careless and reckless all this season. All this season, ever since episode 1, y'all. Emmett has been tap dancing on my nerves. He's been really just, oh God, he's just been, it's hard to watch. I'll just say that. She's telling him that this money is trouble. Everything that you're doing with Douda is trouble. You're putting our family at risk. She's saying all of the things. She's trying to get through to him. He's not listening. He's saying he got it. He's throwing up in her face that she's not working and who's paying for therapy and all of this stuff, as if she does not contribute anything to the household, might I add. And I did not like it. I did not like it. Now, y'all let me know whether you're Team Keisha or Team Emmett in the comments. And this was a big dilemma, and she is trying to get through to him. He finally says that he's sorry for doing it. But you know what's the best thing about sorry? Sorry comes with changed behavior. If it's not changed behavior, it's manipulation, okay? So, with that being said, what I do want to say is that she said you can't just keep saying sorry and thinking everything is going to be okay and keep on putting us further and further in bed with Douda. She said people get unalived around Douda. She is serious. She is like really just trying to put her foot down and really, let him know the gravity of what is going on. We have children. We have a family. Then, she said, I'm leaving. And he said, what? I thought you said we can't leave each other. And she has had it up to her eyeballs with Emmett and his antics. And he promises her that he's going to fix it and he's going to make things better. But, baby. So, fast forward, y'all. I was just watching the Spot Real Talk, their review of episode 7. And they gave Keisha the hands for going to Nuck. And I know this is kind of like a spoiler because we haven't gotten into it yet. But they gave Keisha the hands for going to Nuck, asking for protection for her family, and Emmett. And they gave her the hands for doing that because you're not supposed to do that. Well, I like to know, what are you supposed to do when the person that you're talking to is a knucklehead and nothing can get through to him? Now, she does know that Nuck has been working with Douda way longer and has way more experience. So I feel like her hands was tied. And the fact that she even went to him, I found that interesting, actually. A little odd, but interesting nonetheless. But I was just like, I wouldn't give her too much. I wouldn't give her too much for that, because I feel like, she can't trust Emmett. She can't trust Emmett. So when she said she was leaving Emmett, I think that would have been for the best. But she went ahead and she, as women normally do, we have to try to figure out what can we do to make sure that we are okay. Women make a way out of no way. We figure out what needs to be done and we do it. So, so if y'all haven't looked at the Spot Real Talks discussion on episode 7, let me know. Go on over there, check them out, and let them know Nita the Diva section. So in the next scene, we get the FBI coming to talk to Victor about this photograph that he pulled from, not too far from where they, found Q's body. And they was questioning him, asking him, what was you and Douda? Is his name? No, what is his name? Well, I think Otis. He asked him, like, why were you and Otis together? Y'all don't look too friendly or whatever. And Julian said, it is his right to remain silent. So if you aren't charging him with anything, you can leave. They are on the case, baby. And it's getting a little close for comfort. I don't know how Victor is going to handle this. In the next scene, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. In the next scene, we see Emmett go back to his father, asking him for the strap. And Darnell's like, Emmett, you're not built that way. He was like, you told me that you'll give it to me when I needed it. That was his word. That's what he said. And so he went and got it for him. And, he was just like, just be careful. It's not much you can say because Emmett is a grown man. And he be making grown man decisions. And one day he's going to get a grown man consequence. But he takes the damn gun home talking about, I ain't no punk. I ain't no bitch. I ain't no punk. I ain't no bitch. Oh my God. I can't take it. I just cannot take it. I can't take it. Emmett, I'm going to need you to grow up, boy. Oh, our babies, y'all. Our babies are getting ready to take their class pictures. Now, this is kind of odd because usually I remember taking my senior pictures my 11th grade year to get ready for the 12th grade year or whatever, but they did it like right before graduation. So maybe they changed it, maybe they do it differently, but anyway, we are getting to the nitty gritty. Class of 2023. We get to see our babies take their pictures. Maisha goes in there and shows them how it's done. She said everybody isn't born photogenic. It is a skill. And they all just sitting around talking and stuff. And next thing you know, she goes in there and she smiles and Kevin is like, damn. Kevin takes his picture. Lene takes her picture. She is such a pretty girl. Girl, Lene is such a pretty girl to me. Child, Jake had me cracking up, the fake gangster. And the photographer was like, you don't want to smile? No, he don't want to smile. He want a mean mug, look like a thug. Okay, he thugging it out. And then everybody, because Papa was so worried about his class photo, the boys went and threw some confetti around him and it made him smile. And he took a great picture. So, yeah. Moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, moving too bossy. Child, this scene, we actually walk in on Douda dog walking Bakari because he lost the car due to, him speeding, and of course, the car was stolen. So he goes to Nuck and Zay, and he's like, what's going on with the businesses? Because he's making the illegal drug money. The reason why he needs these businesses is because he launders the money and makes the money legit. So that is what he's doing, strong arming the community. And he said Pastor Stanley got everybody shook from the sermon. So he was like, we're going to figure it out. And he was like, that's what I like to hear. He said, what you want me to do with Bakari? He said, nothing. He can clean himself up. Then they left, and that was that scene. Oh, I remember in my commentary yesterday, I gave the commentary that I thought Fatima knew. He just confessed to her just now about being an accomplice. They're talking over their issues. It's him, Julian, and Fatima sitting around trying to figure out what to do. Fatima says to cut a deal. She asked him, why didn't you tell me? He said, what good that would have did, which is true. I mean, that's just not something you just walk around telling people. And so he was just like, I may wear a suit now, but I'm a street nigga. You know what I'm saying? He said, as fast as I keep trying to run away from it, it keeps catching back up with him. And that's what that fast life will do. That's what that street life does. It catches up with you. So she ends up giving him an embrace because she said maybe cut a deal. He really don't want to do that, but that's one more thing that's on his mind now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This Papa's pulpit was one for the books. I really like his platform because it always feels really, really true to him. Now, you remember Maisha had to check him about how he was going at first. And I definitely like the way he turned the show around with doing things that was true to him. First one was the conversation with him and his best friend Jake. They had to, have an understanding and come to Jesus moment. You know what I'm saying? And then this one with his father that will probably, thank God he has it, because this is one of those talks that you just kind of talk to your father, and really just understand how he thinks, what his motivations are, what influences him, and what makes him tick. And I thought this was such a beautiful podcast that he shared with his father, and we all know what is foreshadowed to come. So yes, I'm so glad that he was able to sit down with his father, and I'm sure that hindsight 2020, he'll remember this moment rather than the moment that he last had with his father, which was him leaving out the house after being forbade to talk to Kenya because Papa's father found out that, she had a kid. And so hopefully he won't keep that moment in his mind, and he'll reflect back on this moment. And this was a very, very interesting conversation that he had. It felt like there was nobody else in the world. It was just them two, him talking about the significance of time and how important it is, and his fear of not having enough time to teach him all that he needs to know, as parents is very, very, very hard. And he only has one son. So it's not like, he has all these children. This first child is his experience, So I thought it was very befitting him passing down the watch 5 generations of men, him being able to pass that down to his father. I hope that this is the moment that he cherishes in his mind, So anyway, it was such a good conversation. So Jada talks to Darnell, and she expresses that she's kind of worried about Emmett. And Darnell knows almost exactly what Emmett is going through, but he kind of feels like his hands are tied. He just came back from the bar with Shad, and he probably was just like, I'm over it. Like, he's probably just over it. But he tries to talk to Jada and tell her don't worry about it. And I was sitting up there like, I said, oh Jada, now you worried about him. You wasn't worried about him when you was trying to find Tracy a man. You worry about him now? Oh, okay. All right, girl. Wow. This scene was really, really touching for me, seeing Bakari go to Lene's house. I don't know if the intent was to just see Lene, but the fact that Nina answered the door, he took accountability for what happened, said he apologized. He said it wasn't her fault at all. He shouldn't have had her in the car. Nina being concerned, of course, how mothers are. What happened to your eye? He said, I'll be okay. And he was like, well, will you just let her know that I came by? And she said, I will. And I thought, that's all I really want in life. I want people to understand that they have choices, and choices have consequences, good, bad, or indifferent. And I applaud Bakari for that. It took a lot for that, and he could have just went on ahead and just not even addressed it, not even taking accountability for it, not even anything. But him going up there, I give him lots of kudos for that. Okay. And of course, in no truer fashion, Lanae's brother pulls up as Bakari is leaving the house. He asked him what happened to his face. He said, I fucked up, so I got fucked up. You know how I go. He said, yeah, I do. Then he told him to get in the car. He said, don't be slamming my door. Now, what I wanted to say is my how we have come up. Oh, look at Lanae's brother. Where you get this truck from? What you doing? It's like, no, I'm just saying. I was just playing. But what you doing for real though? In the next scene, we see Vic come to talk to Pastor Stanley while he's, of course, playing a church hymn. And he says that he needs his guidance. And he was like, talk me through it, son. So he told him about the choice that he had. And usually sometimes in the quiet, even when you're in the thick of it, when you retell the story, sometimes the answer becomes more clear as you start to tell the story to someone else. So sometimes I love the way Pastor Stanley did it. He said, I can't give you an answer for that, but I will pray for you. And you listen to the calm and the stillness, and that voice is God telling you what to do. And baby, when I tell you, that thing hit me. That thing hit me something meaningful. While he laid hands on Victor, gave him the prayer, and hopefully God did reveal what he needed to do. He told him he wanted to have a conversation with him afterwards and said, preemptively, before I got to know you as well as I did, I judged you. And he said I wasn't in my right. It wasn't within my right to judge you. He said you're doing a lot for the community, and he just wanted to apologize for that. Now, that's something Pastor Stanley didn't even have to say, because he didn't know that. He didn't know that. So I just love the integrity that we see with some of our Black men in this show. I thought it was written very well. And so, yeah, that was that scene. I thought it was a really touching scene. In the next scene, Emmett, I can't with Emmett. I just can't. I can't. He rolls up on Douda, tells him he wants to buy him out. He doesn't want to be associated with him no more. Pulled the gun to his head. Baby, when Douda walked up on the gun, I said, oh, baby, just drop the gun and run. Drop the gun and run, Emmett. It was just so crazy to me. I was just like, oh, Christmas.
Congratulations.
He told him, he ended up smacking the gun out of his hand, of course, knocking him to the ground. And he told him, you want to pay me back? He said, you can pay me back. Then I'll think about, the business arrangement. He said, nah, if I pay you back, I want out. Basically, Douda was like, yeah, we'll talk about it. So, all in all, Douda has been giving him chance after chance after chance after chance. Emmett's been walking around like he got 9 lives. So I'm trying to figure out when is the life going to run out, because we all know that one day it's going to run out. So he told him he was going to put that bullet through his thick skull if you come at him one more time like that. So, honey, I don't know what is going on with Emmett. What is going through his mind? I just don't know. Because all I do know is when you pull out the hammer on somebody, you best to use it. This is not going to end well for Emmett. Not at all. Douda's just biding his time, probably trying to figure out how he's going to figure out with the restaurants and all that stuff. He's just trying to figure out that paperwork and all that stuff, that red tape before he end his life. Emmett better stop playing. He better stop playing these games. Because when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
See, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite.
So in the next scene, Tia and Gemma are talking. She's talking about the fact that about this whole thing about breaking into the music industry. Maisha is kind of she's not pulling it together. Tierra tells her that the music industry is like a numbers game. So the more artists that you have, the better chance you have at breaking into the industry, because you have more chances of hitting a success with either one of the talents that you have. Then the father comes in and he's talking about you need to be applying for 3 colleges by end of day. And because if you want to continue to live in this house, you need to be going to school. So you need to be working, pulling in a check, or going to school. And that's real. That's for real. I'm sorry, that's just the way this works, okay? So so she tells her dad that he will, she will do it or whatever. And he was like, don't be trying to, just do anything just to spite me. And she was just like, he said, you'll find yourself going to community college. She said, well, that's not too bad. I wouldn't mind. And she said, they just as good as the Ivy League. Girl, kill that noise. They are not just as good as the Ivy League. But good try. So while Lene and Bakari are riding together, he gives him a nice little dose of jail is not for the weak. Giving them a little taste of what it would be like in jail. You're a product of the system. They treat you like a dog. They tell you when to eat, sleep, shit, all that. He was like, you don't want that life. He said, yeah, I know. Then he's talking about, he want to talk to Lene. He hasn't talked to her. Lene's brother said, y'all should really be taking a break right now. And Bakari can't see that because, he cares so much for Lene right now that he actually says that she's the only thing he has to live for. And I was like, oh, wow. When he said that, I was totally taken aback on that one. So, yeah, he was pretty much being honest with her. And the brother said, yeah, I know the feeling. We hear Victor in his office retelling the whole story about what happened to Hugh while he was with her. And he's telling this information to Rob. Now, Rob then already came to Victor. And I remember when I was getting trained in a law office, I remember one of the first things a lawyer teaching me, I shout out to him, he's retired now. He said when the public calls and asks questions or says things, the first thing you should try to figure out or wonder, what is the motivation? What do they exactly want by giving you the information or asking you that information? And I think this is what Rob was getting at, because he's just like, he's telling him, he's asking him, what did he do? He said, no, he didn't do anything. He was already dead. So what was he going to do? So Rob just kept asking him, why are you telling me now? Which made me think that there is some kind of motivation behind what Victor is doing in telling Rob this information. Is he setting some chess pieces up and some puzzle pieces so that things can fall into place? Or is he really just being genuine? I really think it's the first thing. He's setting something up. to have the narrative move forward. That's my thought. If you're liking the video, I need y'all to hit the like button. And yeah. Now in this scene, you're gonna have to keep your good eye on this girl. You're gonna have to keep your good eye on this girl because it seems like she has some kind of ulterior motive that is going on here, and it looks like Dre is falling for a hook, line, and sinker. Girl, hello, are you okay? Don't sit up there and talk about she don't realize that you can have lesbian friends. No, you can have lesbian friends. You absolutely can have lesbian friends. But those lesbian friends cannot be ex-fiancés. I don't know if I would be comfortable with that. I don't think I would. Not saying that I'm not secure within myself, but however, karma, we just don't need them type of problems, okay? All right, so let's just move on. She said that Nina was not feeling it, and she just needs to be respectful of the relationship. And the ex-fiance was like, I get it. You better get it, girl, or I'm gonna get it for you. And another reason why I am side-eyeing Dre, it's the looks. It's the looks that she gives. You definitely know that there is something else there. There are residual feelings there. She can't even hide it. It's written all over her face. So Lene brother drives Bakari home, and Bakari is looking out the window like he done seen a damn ghost. He looks out. He was like, "Who's that?" He was like, "My sister." Now y'all know I don't think we ever seen his sister, but she is back apparently. They had separated, and she pretty much told him that she's back in the city. That she asked around and heard that he was staying here. And she said she's trying the music game. Now what he did say is, what kind of scheme are you up to now? I said, number one red flag, she's trouble. She always scheming. She said, I'ma always find a way to get to the bag. He was like, yeah, that run the family. She was like, you looking pretty expensive. And he said, yeah. He said, I guess it run the family because I'm a hustler. I'm always do what I gotta do. And she was like, okay. She said, I see by that black eye on your face. She was like, don't be embarrassed. I know how it is. And they just talked. It was a cute little reconnection. They have a little, what you call that, handshake. And they was vibing. She said she trying to get back into the music career, and that's what she on right now. Well, damn, that scene escalated pretty quickly. So we see Vic and Fatima talking about what to do. He wants to be an honest man. Maybe he should confess. Fatima's like, well, what is that going to do for us? And they just don't know. Jake ends up walking in on the conversation, and because it's such a difficult conversation that they are having, Vic just kind of blows up at Jake because Jake wants to know what's going on, and Victor doesn't want to tell him because a lot of times you don't want to put your problems as an adult onto children. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's fair to try to put the emotional weight on children. And so I think he was trying to be protective, and also too he was kind of annoyed because Jake came in talking about, why y'all never want to tell me nothing, I'm almost grown, I run my own business. You know how them teenagers do. They get the smell in themselves and they think that they know everything. They think they know everything. So he was like, well, I need to get on out of here. I need to get out on my own, like quick, fast, in a hurry. Fatima de-escalated the situation and said, Jake, just please give us a minute. And just please give us a minute. And Jake was like, all right. In the next scene, we get Dre coming clean to both Tracy and Jada about the whole situation about Tracy hiring her ex, and it's causing some friction in the house. Now, Tracy was like, look, I'm not trying to break up your happy home. That we know. And I get it. But I love that, she brought up the conversation in a kind of hypothetical. Are y'all friends with y'all exes? And, Tracy was like, well, one of them is dead, which is Ronnie. And the other one, Douda, she was just like, I kind of miss him being a friend. But she called him an unaliver as well. And they was like, well, damn. And she was like, I miss talking to him. Dre was like, I don't think he was doing much talking when you was with him. Now, Jada, on the other hand, she said she married her ex. And see, that is the slippery slope that we are talking about here. That there could still be some residual love there. That, because a lot of times, unless someone has done you completely horribly dirty, that love doesn't go anywhere. And I can tell by the way Dre is looking, she feels unsure about her feelings. And she's trying to convince herself and her friends that she don't have any feelings. But Nina is not going for it. And Dre looks unsure. And the ladies are like, you need to be sure about your feelings. And Dre was just like, I'm just gonna talk to Nina and tell her she has nothing to worry about. And I was just like, that's just not how this works. Affairs of the heart is slippery. So just be careful with that. And Dre, you definitely look like you about to sleep with that girl. Period. That's all I'm gonna say. I said what I said. Now, the next scene, we have Rob talking to his mom. And I think she was hosting some kind of dinner, brunch, something. And she was like, I hope, you brought me over here for a good reason. And he was like, I know who killed or unalived Uncle Q. And she was like, well, you know what needs to be done. And he was like, it's not that simple. And to me, the way she was making it seem like it better be that simple, because it ain't, we ain't doing too much more of you know what it is. And when I tell you, Miss Lynn Whitfield, she is playing that part. And the fact that he kind of alluded to, Quentin ain't had nothing on his mother, I said, uh-oh, this is going to be some trouble. So, she's still doubling down on it. She doesn't really care how he feels about it. She was like, get you some help. You know what to do. I was like, dang. Can exes be friends? Y'all let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Can exes be friends? I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay. So who are y'all on? Team Dre or Team Nina? Now Nina ain't got she don't really have no leeway with talking. You remember what happened with the brat, right? And I honestly think that Dre is going to get her lick back, and she's going to tell Nina that she's possibly well within her rights because she keeps throwing it up in her face. And so they're having this conversation. Nina is not buying it, and then next thing you know, I think Kevin walks in, and she is just so frustrated with the whole conversation with Dre. Then Kevin comes over here, and he didn't knock, he used his key. First of all, take the key. If you don't want him walking in the house, take the key, and that's that. But anyway, Dre knew that Kevin was coming over. He was like, I need to talk to you about some things that's getting ready to happen. So she's still kind of bubbling over from this whole situation with Dre. They sit down. He presents everything, all the information that he knows. He says that he's moving to LA. Nina has a fit, a hissy fit. And I'm like, I don't blame her. That's her baby. That's her baby. And unfortunately, these are the growing pains that mothers and parents going towards an empty nest. These are the heartaches and the transitions of life, always coming growing pains that you have to stick the landing or else. And she said it was just too much for her to process right now. Dre was very, 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 very supportive of Kevin. She was so happy for him. She was giving him hugs, and I mean, it always feels like Dre always believed and support Nina's kids in a way that Nina can't. Nina, she's like of the logical, the mothering, the protective, and Dre presents, I come into this situation, I don't have that layer of protection that most mothers have. I'm the supportive parent. And I love that they both kind of compliment each other on this whole thing. First, Nina was telling her to chill out. I'm his mother. He was like, y'all both my mom. And then when her and Kevin get into it, she's like, Dre, back me up. I'm like, girl, what you want? Which way do you want it? Nina, are you okay? She had a lot. And it meant so much. If you really saw the way Dre hugged him and the way Kevin hugged Dre back, that's exactly what he needed in that moment. And I'm glad that Dre was there to give it to him, and hopefully, get Nina on the right page, which I think she did. We didn't see it. It wasn't a scene, but just being she's just coming from the perspective of a protective mom, and I can't really blame her. I can understand flying off the handle and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, your children need your support, and I think all in all, she ended up giving it to him. And so, it really hurt him. He kind of felt crushed when she really couldn't accept it right away. But like I said, a lot of times you just need some time to process. People are not just like, sometimes people need more time to process it. And I think it was fair that Nina said, it's just a lot to process. And so that's where we are with that.
I'd like to start off by thanking my counselors and teachers for guiding me through these years. I know I haven't been the easiest student. Shout out to Mr. Branford, who encouraged me to lean into the things I love. To my classmates. Man. Can't believe our journey has finally come to an end. It's been a wild ride, to say the least. I'm grateful we had each other along the way. Now, class speaker, I'm here to encourage you all to follow your dreams. Make the best out of your next 4 years of college. And if you choose not to go to college, that's cool too. Some folks think it's a scam anyway. I'm here to happily announce that I'll be moving to Los Angeles. Do what I love. Gaming. While I'm up here, I encourage you all to even if everyone thinks you're crazy, you blaze your own trail. And never let anyone tell you you can't do something. I know the size won't be forever. I plan on going all over the world. So congrats to the class of 2023.
Yes, our babies did it, y'all. They went from boys to men. This was such a great episode. Really, really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, you guys. So that is all I got for you. We do know that the ending scene was Papa's daddy getting strangled to death as he was praying to God. Now, how does that happen? You might ask. I don't know. But yes, he did meet his demise at the end of the episode. Didn't really want to put any photos about that, but that was a big blow to the community, and we'll be looking at that in the next episode. So yeah, you guys, thanks so much for listening to my recap of Boys to Men. The Shy, this season is shaping up to be so good for me. I'm really enjoying I'm just enjoying the change. It feels so different. This is about the best season since like season 2 or 3. So I definitely like it. I think it's because they're in a different era of life. You know what I'm saying? So you can keep things spicy and keep things moving and stuff like that. But I really did enjoy it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'm Nita, your favorite diva, and make sure you come back. Bye, y'all. Mwah.
Gon' pay a bill, I've been in action, been attraction, surplus with niggas lacking, shining light but still be blacking, red lights will stop the action, green to go, even when it's slow, higher heights to balance out the lows, can't ride the wave cause you ain't got a boat, all you niggas only need to know, bass, there's a water, y'all can